What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. Yes, we are live today at noon Pacific time because we do have breaking news. And I also wanted to discuss LeVar Ball making headlines once again involving the Lakers. So, going to break it all down for you guys. But as you guys have read the title of this video, the Lakers, we see the light at the end of the tunnel, guys, as far as the coaching search goes. Three candidates left. All right. And Shams and Woj have reported today that finalists for the Lakers head coaching job are Bucks assistant Darvin Ham. Yes, he would be awesome. Warriors assistant Kenny Atkinson. I like him. I'm not in love with him as far as the head coach goes. I'd love him much more as an assistant. And then there's Trailblazers head coach Terry Stotts, or should I say former Trailblazers head coach Terry Stotts, who I also like. I think he's very sturdy. I think he's a hard ass. He'll crack down on players and shit like that. But the only difference is that, again, certain things he did while he was with Portland that I did not like as a coach. And as a result, I felt like he underwhelmed a little bit. Not sure how that would work out for the Lakers. But all in all, man, Darvin Ham is my favorite. I told you guys my top two coaches were Mark Jackson, Darvin Ham. It's a shame. It's a shame that he couldn't make the list, Mark Jackson. But I wish him the best. Hey, what up, Tara? What's up, girl? Good afternoon, everybody. So what do you guys think? I see everybody is deadlocked on Darvin Ham. We all want Darvin Ham, former Lakers assistant head coach, during the Kobe Bryant era. Somebody who's well-respected around the league, somebody who has contributed, according to multiple reports, to the Milwaukee Bucks' success, and somebody who also seems to be very ingrained with the players, somebody who seems to be deadlocked. I mean, recently a video emerged in the playoffs of him pulling Bobby Portis to the side and calming him down when he was barking at the refs. That's the type of coach we need, somebody who's all the way involved, somebody who can command their locker room and has experience and is also well respected around the league. I think Darvin Ham from this coaching list is my favorite for sure because he marks off all the boxes. Of course, he doesn't have head coaching experience, but you have seen the success other assistant coaches have had around the league, taking over as head coaches after they put in work. So, Darvin Ham, definitely my favorite. Now, second favorite for me is Terry Stotts. We know he has a record of 518 wins and 486 losses. That might not seem very impressive on paper, but he has been in a small market in Portland and able to accomplish a winning record. Not to mention, like I said, he's also somebody who's not afraid of to bark at players or referees, somebody who's not afraid to get in their grill. So he's probably my second favorite. And rounding third and headed for home is Kenny Atkinson. Now, I also like this coach. Again, I'm not in love with this coach, but I like him because even though his record is 118 wins and 190 losses, he was able to win over the whole entire locker room of young guys. That team that included Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, D'Angelo Russell, and actually get them to the first round of the playoffs. And I think they won 2 games in that series. So that was impressive in itself. But bottom line is, guys, we finally have a vision, right? We finally have some Laker news. And I'll tell you this, for me, it would be a dream come true if we get Darvin Ham as a lead coach and then we get the other 2 as assistants. I think that's a win-win for everybody involved. And if one doesn't work out, then you got the next one waiting in line. Similar to the situation when we got Jason Kidd to come on as an assistant with Frank Vogel. So that was a win-win opportunity. If we can get that with the other 2 coaches, that would be great. I'm going to head over to the comment section, see what you guys think about that. Also going to be talking about Zach LaVine potentially being a Laker. LeVar Ball, again, making headlines. He's back in the news. You love to see it. But how y'all feel? Who do you guys want? He said, nobody wants Mark Jackson. I know, Max. That's unfortunate. This is why I said if the Lakers don't hire him, I wish him the best, and I hope he gets a job elsewhere. Really love Mark Jackson. I feel like he deserves an opportunity, a second chance, man. Voice of Reason, appreciate your donation, brother. He said, thank God Doc Rivers is not on the list. Yes. If anything, I will say this. Anybody on this list is an upgrade to Frank Vogel. Straight up, like their X's and O's are much better. Even the other 2 that are in second place, Terry Stotts and Kenny Atkinson. Even to me, I would take them over Frank any day of the week, right? Those are upgrades. Like if we had to do a firing halfway through the season and these were like emergency replacement coaches, I'd be ecstatic. But we're talking, I'm thinking long-term, and I'm thinking somebody who's going to withstand the pressures of LA, somebody who's been there before, somebody who has helped lead a team to a championship, somebody who has good experience with players and, again, well-respected around the league and has put in the work as an assistant, and that is Darvin Ham. I think you got to start off with fresh blood. I mean, he's never coached as a head coach in the league. Why not give him an opportunity? And, again, well-regarded. I really hope he gets the job here. I will be ecstatic if he gets the job. He was definitely one of my top 2 candidates alongside Mark Jackson for obvious reasons, right? But what do you guys think of this whole situation? He said, I think Darvin Ham has Laker ties. Yeah, he does. But, I mean, we're not worried about that because he's currently doesn't have Laker ties. He currently has ties with the Milwaukee Bucks. So, you know, we're not talking about in-house hiring at this current moment. Who in their right mind would take 2-year $30 million over a 1-year $47 million deal? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, brother. He said, Darvin Ham, this guy had never coached a franchise, so 0 experience. Actually, he has tons of experience. An assistant head coach can learn from the best of the best, and sometimes they're even better than the head coaches. I mean, just look at what Monty Williams has done. You know, Ty Lue was an assistant for years. I mean, there's been plenty of successful situations like that. So I think the Lakers are looking for new blood, and he definitely fits the bill as a head coach. You said you already think it'll be Darvin Ham because of his Laker past. I feel you. Look, listen, whoever gets hired here, I'm not mad at it. Listen, there's a positive side to everything. Somebody even mentioned if we hire Terry Stotts, maybe Damian Lillard becomes a possibility. I doubt that. But I'll say this, man. You have to look at everything in a positive stride. No matter what we do, this is already a dub because we fired Frank Vogel, who was not good with the X's and O's. He's a defensive specialist, and this year we weren't even good defensively. So if you're not doing your job to the best of your ability, and you know, your weakness, you know, you have 2 weaknesses if your defense wasn't up, and people will blame everything. But I was saying the inability to call timeouts at the right time, the inability to challenge plays, the inability to play the right rotations really hurt him a lot. Now, these coaches here, I think, would be much better than that. I think. Now, nothing is guaranteed till it happens, right? And we see the product on the court, of course. We can all love Darvin Ham, but maybe that won't work out. You never know. Same thing with Terry Stotts or Kenny Atkinson. But I will say, as Laker fans, we have to come in with an open mind and just see that the franchise is trying to think outside the box, all right, here, because nobody – which one of you guys believed any of these names would be headlining for head coach heading into the offseason? You know, not a lot of people did. We were talking about other different names. We were talking about Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson. We're talking about different guys. So, again, Lakers thinking outside the box, and let's see what comes to fruition. Now, these 3 are now going to get in-person interviews with the front office. So I'm very curious to see if we get any breaking news over the next couple of days. Hopefully it won't happen tonight, the breaking news, because I will be busy tonight. My brother will be accepting an award today, and I will be there at his presentation. But hopefully by tomorrow or by the weekend, we'll get some news, and you guys know where to find me on that front. But I am very excited that the Lakers finally have a direction in which we're going. You know, we were complaining about they were taking too long, and we didn't want coaches to get snatched up. Well, the Lakers have now jumped ahead of the curve, and they're about to make their decision here pretty soon. I expect the decision by the end of this weekend or early next week. So very excited for that, guys. Once we have a direction, we can definitely break down that direction. And then I'm also excited for the assistant coaches that are going to get hired. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I'm actually very excited for the assistant coaches. They can be equally as big as the head coach if they get the right staff around the head coach, right? Again, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So what happened, Frank Vogel was our weak link, and Jason Kidd and the other assistant coaches basically strengthened them up in order for us to win that bubble championship, right? So at the end of the day, look, guys, maybe we end up hiring 2 of the 3 of these guys, right? Maybe one as a head coach, one as an assistant. Don't know what the Lakers are planning, but I'm here and I'm ready. And I'm excited, man. Because I never seen Frank Vogel draw up a play. I just didn't see the passion from him. You know, you can say a lot from the post-game interviews. When a coach loses, I want to see him piss the heck off, and I want to see him, you know, take responsibility. And Frank did that sometimes, but for the most part, like I remember one time they asked him, "Hey, Frank, do you think you guys lost the rebounding battle due to you going small?" He's like, "No. It's all about effort, and guys want to have to want it, and blah, blah, blah." No, it also matters your rotations, Frank. So you should take some responsibility instead of throwing it all on your guys. So I want a coach that's going to do that and demand greatness from his players, but at the same time, demand greatness from himself. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Key Ford. Thank you, brother. He said, Dan, what do you think about the Levine news? I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I just want to read a couple more comments, see what you guys think of this head coaching news. I know everybody's on board with Darvin Ham, so am I. Really crossing my fingers that he's the guy, but I will be open-minded to whoever gets hired, and I'm just excited to head in a new direction. I will definitely be touching on Zach LaVine and potentially even Kyrie Irving rumors in just 1 second. Tasia, thanks for being here. You got the notifications today. Stacy says, I'm excited for getting a new coach. We need to get younger with NBA players, with the players. I agree, Stacy, and I think the Lakers will head in that direction. We kind of did that towards the end of the season, getting guys like Wenyen Gabriel and guys like that, and we got a little bit more success. But you're absolutely right, and I am excited for this offseason. A lot can happen in the offseason. People think, oh, we're tied up with cap space. We're stuck with Russell Westbrook. Listen, if we get one of these guys to commit, there's many avenues, and I will talk about those in just a minute, just a quick minute. He said, and yeah, I'm going to run it back with better role players, 3 and D, FOH. He said, I'm not giving up round picks for Russ. Y'all crazy. He has only 1 year left. We'll talk about that in 1 second, Dom. I want to break it all down. William Scott, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He said, my pick is Darvin Ham and Stotts as an offensive specialist and Kenny Atkinson as a defensive specialist and bring back Handy. That would be a dream come true, William Scott. Listen, bro, if those coaches could come together and do the job as one, we probably might be championship contenders next season. But, of course, the roster has to round out nicely, right? Because we still haven't even scratched the surface with the changes. But you're right. I mean, who wouldn't love that type of coaching staff? That is an all-star studded coaching staff, and it would be a dream come true. Again, maybe whoever they hire as a head coach wants the power to hire his own assistants, right? Maybe it could also happen that they don't want somebody on their heels, trying to take their job if they mess up or whatever. Maybe they want the freedom to make mistakes along the way and learn from it themselves. I don't know how that's going to work out, but eyes are peeled back because I'm ready to see this change, man. I'm ready. Who's ready for a new era in Lakers basketball, man? Because I know I am. Another winning era coming. Trust me, guys. Like I say, haters want to talk smack, this and that, down our front office, down our history. But at the end of the day, we have been here for a long time to know that we always rise again, and we will. This is just the beginning of that. So I always like new beginnings, and I get excited for this stuff, man, because, we need change. And listen, I was excited when we hired Frank Vogel, even though I said it. He wasn't my favorite or my number 1 or 2 option, but he was an upgrade to Luke Walton. As a result, we won a championship. So I am thankful for that. However, this is going to be an upgrade to even that. So let's just hope that we make the right decision here, and then we're going to live with the consequences. And hopefully those consequences are positive consequences. What did you miss? There's 3 finalists, man. For anybody just tuning in now, just a quick recap. 3 finalists for the head coaching job. The Lakers have now narrowed down their search to 3, and that's Kenny Atkinson, Darvin Ham, and Terry Stotts. And everybody knows, for me, Darvin Ham has been up there in the top 2 of my coaching list. So I would love to have him. I would be ecstatic. I think we win the offseason already if we get Darvin Ham. But to be determined. And again, got to be open-minded, because if they go with Kenny Atkinson, I'm not going to be mad. I'll be a little disappointed when you get Darvin Ham, but got to be open-minded. Kenny Atkinson, great with young players. We know that for sure. Haven't seen him with superstars like LeBron yet, so to be determined, right? And AD. But obviously, I'm sorry, Terry Stotts as well has experience with stars. So we will see, guys. It's getting interesting. Now I'm going to pivot over to the next topic of conversation. You know what's funny? I had already announced I was making this video before we got the news, and I was going to talk about this. Now, LeVar Ball recently was on a podcast where he talked about Lonzo Ball's future and the Bulls and Zach LaVine's future, who, by the way, is going to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. Now, you might say, well, Dan, why are we even talking about this? We have Russell Westbrook in 3 max contracts. We have no room for nobody. Hear me out, guys, because LeVar Ball, if you go back and you watch that interview, he says Zach LaVine is gone, basically, from the Bulls, that he's had this personal conversation with him, and that Zach is not happy playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan. Now, how that correlates to him coming here and playing third fiddle to LeBron and AD, I have no clue. However, it does make sense. You make sacrifices when you come to LA, and the city entices you to do things you might not want to do elsewhere. So from that standpoint, I think there is an opportunity to get Zach LaVine. But then again, now you have the problem with the cap space. And I'm no cap expert, but I can tell you this. If the Lakers want Zach LaVine and Zach LaVine wants the Lakers, it'll happen. How? This is how. You either buy out Russell Westbrook's contract or you trade him away and include a first-round pick. We'll trade a first-round pick if we're guaranteed Zach LaVine. I promise you that. Or you do a sign and trade with the Bulls if they want to take a swipe at Russell Westbrook. Who knows? But bottom line is, where there's a will, there's a way. And if the Lakers really want Zach LaVine and Zach LaVine wants the Lakers, it will happen. And I would be ecstatic because I've always been a Zach LaVine fan since he played for the Bruins. You know, matter of fact, I wanted him drafted. We ended up getting, who did we get? Julius Randle, I believe, right? But I wanted him drafted. And for some reason, the Lakers sometimes pass on the players who I believe are going to be stars, and they go with players who they believe are going to be stars, which is fine. But Zach LaVine would have been tremendous here for the Lakers, especially when he was younger and he hadn't tore anything. Now, there's one concern, right? He's going to have, I think, I don't want to, again, I'm no doctor or nothing, but arthroscopic knee surgery or something like that is what I read online. So I don't know how severe that can be or whatnot. So that is a little bit of a cause for concern. But anytime you have a chance to acquire a player like that, you take that opportunity. You take it. All right. I don't care if people say he's injury prone. I don't care if people think, oh, he's not going to be the same. He's a bucket. All right. Even if he doesn't have the same explosion. Talking about a guard who can come off a screen, shoot. Talking about somebody who can attack the rim, finish. Talking about somebody who is still young and in his prime. So, yes, listen, man, I would absolutely love to have – and that's another good point. Tron definitely points that out. He's also a clutch agent as of last year, right? So, LeBron is a mastermind. He's always recruiting these guys behind closed doors. And, clutch agent, you automatically have to link them to the Lakers because of that, because we have the connections as long as we have LeBron on there. So that could happen, man. That could really happen. And can you imagine a trio of LeBron, AD, and Zach LaVine? Now that is a trio that you can call a super team. However, there is another option here, guys. Let's just say that doesn't happen, right? Let's just say that Zach LaVine wants to get paid the big bucks. He goes elsewhere. Again, for that to happen, we'd probably have to restructure a couple of contracts. Maybe LeBron take a small pay cut, maybe AD to make that work. Same thing with Zach. If he's leaving his bird rights. He has to take a couple millions off, but he can get that back like LeVar Ball said in commercials. He's light-skinned, he's good-looking. LeVar Ball said it. LeVar Ball's words, he tends to speak things into existence. So that could happen, guys. That could definitely happen. Now, Kyrie Irving, right? He's somebody who you look at his situation, you're intrigued. He's clearly one with LeBron James. They clearly hashed out whatever issues they had in the past. He's clearly matured in that sense. Now, people question his other off-court stuff. Well, I think Kyrie wants to win. All right. Kyrie, to me, reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson, type of player that you appreciate him more after he retires, because you understand he was a revolutionary and somebody who was, he was a rebel without a cause. But except AI, the thing about Allen Iverson is he was a true leader, man. That's the difference between AI and Kyrie. Kyrie needs a leader. I'm a big Kyrie fan, but I'll tell you this. He's no leader, right? He is a super skilled, super gifted athlete, but he needs a leader. LeBron James is that leader, and together they could win again. All right. I know you add Anthony Davis to that equation, another big three worthy of that acquisition. Now, how would this happen? How would this come about, you ask? Because you can't just snap your fingers and add Kyrie. Obviously, we don't have the cap. Clearly, he's still, he's going to be a free agent if he doesn't come to an agreement with the Nets, which doesn't look likely, all right? Based on what Sean Marks said, the president of basketball ops for the Nets, they want somebody who's going to commit to them, or somebody who's going to be there full time, and somebody who won't be a distraction. It sounds like they're going to pivot away from Kyrie. Now, wouldn't this be the perfect marriage? Listen, you guys want somebody who's going to commit, somebody who's going to be there, and somebody who's not injury prone or whatever. Russell Westbrook, he played the most games than any Laker this season. He'll be there, and we know he's aggressive at all times. and we know he'll. I'm not sure if he'll buy in, but that's the only question mark you have there. Why not make a straight up swap? I would do it. I definitely would do a sign and trade. If they don't want to commit to him, let's do it. Maybe a 1 year with a 1 year opt out. If it doesn't work with Kyrie, hey, I'd rather pay him for 1 year than pay Russell Westbrook for the last year of his contract, to be honest with you. So there's going to be options for the Lakers, and we have to get creative. The only question is, do these guys want to be here? And I think, again, this correlates back to what coach we hire, because coaching matters. You get a Darvin Ham, well-respected around the league, maybe a lot of these guys will want to flock over, even some unrestricted free agents. We've been hearing that, rumor today, reporting that Mo Bamba might want to leave his team, I think he's a free agent. I'm not sure if he's restricted or unrestricted, but he would be a nice little acquisition for the Lakers. We need a defensive big man, and he definitely would serve as an anchor if he comes at a discount. But again, coaching matters and all of that. Coaching definitely can help recruit. So that's why this decision for the Lakers is very important. Kenny Atkinson, I think he'll be great with younger players. Not sure how he does with superstars. Never seen him there before. Terry Stotts, we know that star players like him. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum were in love with this coach. But how will he perform under the bright lights? And then Darvin Ham never coached before. So there's really question marks on all of these coaches. However, again, pecking order for me, I like Darvin Ham first, right, from these three coaches. Darvin Ham is my first, head and shoulders above the rest for me, just based on his accolades. And then probably Terry Stotts will be my second choice, followed by Kenny Atkinson third. All right. However, if we could somehow get all three of these guys, we are the biggest winners in the offseason, or at least two of the three. I'm happy with it. Marcos Gutierrez, thanks for the donation, bud. He said, AD for Levine, Ball in 3 first-rounders, keep Russ, trade LeBron into the worst for Poole, Wiseman, and Wiggins. LOL, would you do that? Not saying they will. I would not, Marcos. I really won't, because we're trying to win a championship here. You trade AD for Levine, that's only going to get you stats. Anthony Davis is a once-in-a-generational talent. And then you keep Russ. Why? Levine and Russ on the same team, not going to work out. And then you're trading LeBron to the Warriors. You're gifting him a championship. I don't care if it's for Poole, Wiseman, and Wiggins. Listen, Jordan Poole is the best player in that package. Wiggins, to me, is an over-bloated contract. Wiseman hasn't improved anything in the league. So, yeah, I would definitely not do that, but I do appreciate the donation, brother. For me, the direction the Lakers will take and should take is hold on to Anthony Davis and LeBron James, trade Russell Westbrook, or cut him. If somebody comes here and we need a clear, quick cap space, the Lakers will cut Russell Westbrook. They will, what do they call it? Amnesty, spread his contract out, right, over the next couple of years, just like they did with Lil Deng in order to clear cap. So that we're going to have options. But again, the key here is, can we recruit those players to come? Does Kyrie Irving mend things with LeBron James and want to be in LA? Does Zach LaVine want to come and play third option? Because that's clearly what he's going to be if he comes here to the Lakers. Those are still questions that will not be answered till they're answered. So, but that is definitely my take on that. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Marco's trade proposals? He's talking about a full rebuild and then keeping Russell Westbrook. I don't like that. I definitely don't. He said Lakers have to give up draft assets and have to be sign and trade. Again, if we're getting another star in return, the Lakers might just do that. If it's for regular players and they're trying to rip us off, I'm pretty damn sure the Lakers won't even consider that. They might scoff at it, right? Hey, Michael Calloway, appreciate you, bro. My boy said primetime is banging. Yes, thanks for reminding me. Man, for 2 weeks I worked on this track. Finally was able to iron it out and put it out yesterday. So definitely check out my new track, Primetime. If you don't like hip-hop or whatever, just show some love. Smash the like button. You don't have to listen. But I do appreciate those of you that have listened, shared, and liked, man. You guys are truly the best. Thank you so much, Michael. He said, Kyrie is a baby. Yeah, but like I said, under the right leadership, Kyrie Irving will definitely kill it. We've seen LeBron and him. And he also apologized to LeBron for not understanding his leadership back then. So I think the fences will be mended just okay. And then you're playing for the Lakers. If you get a well-respected coach like Darvin Ham, I think there will be no problems there. I really don't. It's worth the gamble for me. All right, we already dealt with the headache that is Russell Westbrook. He basically brought all the headache, but not enough reward. Kyrie, he might bring a little bit of a headache, but he's definitely bringing that reward with him, man. He's a killer. He's somebody who can win games without LeBron or AD, whoever's missing on any given night, because they have to either take a day off or they got a minor injury or something like that. Kyrie could definitely drop a 40-point night, put you over the top. Couldn't say the same thing for Russell Westbrook. He probably had like one good game all season long when the other two were missing, but he'll be worth the headache. I promise you guys that. I promise you guys that, man. Kyrie is that dude. I've been watching him his whole career, been a big fan of his skill on the court. And honestly, I think he's really misunderstood off the court, right? Again, reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson. People forget when AI was when AI was in the league, a lot of folks, especially people that aren't from the hood, they really didn't like him. Why? Because he's got tattoos, the cornrows, like, he was bringing the hip hop culture to the NBA, and a lot of people, it rubbed them the wrong way. That's because he was misunderstood. He was way ahead of his time, personally. And I always loved him even back then. Like, my dream was to have AI play alongside Kobe, and that never came to fruition. Now my new dream is to have Kyrie alongside LeBron and AD. That would be so dope. If it happens, it's dangerous, but of course we need the right coach. And that is why this video is very important. He said Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be a finalist unless I'm missing something here. But yeah, it seems to be 3 finalists according to Shams and Woj. And those 3 finalists are Terry Stotts, Darvin Ham, and Kenny Atkinson. By the way, they're all good coaches. They're all good coaches. My only question is which one's going to be great, because we need a great coach here. We haven't had a great coach here in Los Angeles since Phil Jackson. So, the street's been hungry, man, for a good coach. We need one. We need to be fed. He said, I'll give up if Terry Stotts becomes our coach. Such mediocrity. He doesn't even know how to run offense or defense properly. Offense is not a problem with Terry Stotts. His defense, he was playing drop coverages on Steph Curry and the Warriors. His defense might be a little questionable, but if you get the right coaching staff, then I'll be okay with it. Again, we have to be open-minded when it comes to this stuff, man, because we're fans and we're very emotional, but maybe the front office, we don't know what's going on in the interviews. Maybe they knock it out the ballpark, and maybe they have a mastermind plan to bring the Lakers back to the promised land, just like my old track, my original anthem that I first dropped on here says. So we just, at the end of the day, we're fans, diehards. Don't get it twisted. That don't mean we don't know basketball, but we don't hear what's going on behind those closed doors. So, maybe if we were there and we hear a really compelling interview from these coaches, we would probably go with whatever coach the Lakers go with as well, right? But it matters, man. They're not going based off of names or track records or nothing. They're going based off of what schemes and plans do you have for the current roster as constructed, or even a future roster plan. Who knows? But we have to be extremely open-minded as fans. And then, my rule. I always give a coach 1 or 2 years before I start, coming down hard on him and breaking down his coaching strategies and being extremely critical of him, right? So whoever we hire, I'm gonna give him at least this year to show me what you got, and before I start really, bringing down the hammer of Thor on these guys, man. And I know it's really hard to be patient because we're a very impatient fan base. We demand greatness every single year, but we have to be fair to whatever new coach we get and give him a chance. I was very fair to Frank Vogel, especially after winning the championship, and I really didn't start being really hard on him till this 3rd year where he just absolutely bombed it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm extremely excited, guys. My phone's blowing up. Text messages all day. People are excited as well. Do I trust Rob Pelinka? As of right now, he's on strike 2. All right, he's on strike 2 for me. So he has one more chance, and this season is his chance to get it right. If not, then we might start talking about his job. But yeah, I mean, they delivered a championship already, him and Genie and Magic as well. I'll give him credit for that. So yeah, we have to trust, man. We have to trust what, the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is a championship already. So if they can bring that back, everybody's going to forget about these last 2 bad years. I promise you that. If they bring back another championship contender this offseason, nobody's going to be talking about how toxic Rob is. Everybody's going to give Jeannie her flowers. Finally, she deserves them after already helping us lead the team back to a championship. Whether it's bubble or not, a championship is a championship. It hangs from the rafters, and you get the exact same Larry O'Brien trophy. So haters can hate all they want, man. But it's prime time, baby. He said, but Dan, we don't have 1 or 2 years. We have to make a solid decision. We already wasted the last 2. You know what, Phantom? I agree with you. This is why I say Rob Pelinka is on his last chance. However, nothing is guaranteed in this league, man. You can't just give up the whole farm and gamble everything just for this 1 year. No, 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 no. Because if that's the case, we're gonna end up giving up 2 first-round picks just to get rid of Russell Westbrook, and that's something we don't want to do, right? We don't want to take it up the tailpipe in order to succeed for one season alone, because then you play your hand, you basically drop out, you put all your chips in the middle of the table, and you might end up losing it all. So you don't want to do that. You still want to be smart, and you want to take things one step at a time. You got to take baby steps before you can walk, and then you got to walk before you can run, and then you got to and so on and so forth. So bottom line is, Lakers, get this job, get this done right, hire the right coach, and we go from there. Am I gonna watch Thor: Love and Thunder? Yes, I will, man. Yes, I will. Hey, Dan, I'm just tuning in. Scale of 1 to 10, how confident are the Lakers will hire the right coach in Darvin Ham? I'd say I'm about an 8, Jabari. Yeah, I'm about an 8 in confidence because I do like these last 3 coaches. Now, I don't love all 3 of them. I love one, but I wouldn't be upset if it was one of the other 2. Maybe he knocks it out of the ballpark. Maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. But everything has to correlate, right? One thing might lead to another. Evan, what's up, bro? Doing good, man. Doing good. Blessed. Appreciate it. Thank you for asking. He said Alonzo, Levine, Tatum, Poole, and Wiseman. My boy Marcos, he's dreaming heavy right now, man. Think more realistic. Think LeBron James, AD, and fillers. Okay, because that's probably how it's gonna look. This ain't 2K, my brother. I'd be shocked if the Lakers trade LeBron or AD. Like I've been saying it since last year. I will be shocked. My jaw will probably hit the ground, and start running. It'll start magically with invisible legs. It'll start running because I would be extremely shocked. I don't expect that to happen. That's usually something mediocre franchises do. They overreact to losing seasons and they end up giving up the farm and then regretting it later. So hopefully that doesn't happen, man. He said, if we hire that bum Stotts and Canny, we are losing. I wouldn't call them bums, man. I definitely wouldn't call them bums. I mean, there's a reason why those guys held it down for their teams respectively. But I do agree with you that Darvin should be the choice for now, Now, if that situation changes or Darvin doesn't put up, what we think he's going to do, then that could happen as well, But and my gut feeling says Darvin Ham is our guy. I definitely like the way he was. He looked like the head coach at times, on the sidelines for the Bucks during the playoffs. I was paying close attention to his body language, the way he interacts with his players. It looks like he can light a fire under them. So that's exactly the type of coach we need, man. And it's a shame that Mark Jackson wasn't a finalist because I think he would have been perfect. But hey, everything happens for a reason, man. I really wish Mark the best. He's truly a good person, genuinely. And I want him to have another chance in the NBA. I hope he gets it. I really do. Dan, have you been keeping up with this draft prospect's name, Kai Soto? You have any thoughts? You know what, man? I haven't gotten to the scouting part of it. Again, we don't have a draft pick as of right now, but as the draft approaches, I will definitely look into it. I've been watching little articles from Laker Nation, that mentioned his name and stuff like that. But as of right now, no, I do not know who that is. I haven't scouted him. We don't have picks officially, so I really haven't spent that much time doing my research on that. Right now, I've been focused on the head coaching search, on potential free agents, and other stuff. However, as the draft approaches, I will shift my attention to that. And maybe you can ask me then, man. He said, I love to see Coach Ham assistant Stotts. That would be dope, Jared. I mean, again, brother, that would be insanely cool if we can get 2 head coaching candidates for the price of 1. Like, that'll be great. We've done it before, right? When we brought on Jason Kidd. And again, oh my God, Jesus Christ. It's such a shame how my brain puts names I think aren't that important in the way back. Look, man, you guys know who I'm talking about. The ex-Memphis Grizzlies coach as well. Those 2 assistants were huge, as well as Phil Handy as a player developmental coach. Phenomenal. Heard the Lakers may purchase a 2nd-round pick. Well, I'll be here to break it all down if they do. And, of course, I will be scouting if that happens, especially. Absolutely, man. You said, why do they want Terry Stotts so damn bad? Maybe he knocked it out the ballpark with his interview. Maybe he has a master plan. Again, we don't know, guys. We can only speculate, right? But again, his overall record is not bad considering he was in a small market. 518 wins, 486 losses. So he's above 500. That is really good. That's a good sign, right? If he can do that with Damian Lillard and CJ, imagine what he might be able to do with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So you always gotta look at it as a glass half full type of thing. It's not like we're acting like he's a horrible coach. Like, he's no Doc Rivers. So we don't know yet what he would be for the Lakers. For none of these coaches, to be honest with you, they're all a gamble. But sometimes you gamble and you win. Sometimes you gamble and you lose. Let's just hope for the best. Alex, appreciate you, man. He said, I just hope whoever we get as a coach actually gets a chance to coach without being scapegoated and fired after a year. Well, nobody's been scapegoated and fired after a year. Can you name one coach that we scapegoated and fired after 1 year? Because I cannot. Even Mike D'Antoni got 2 years with us, I believe. So I'm not sure who you're referring to there, but we'll see. We'll see. I do agree that they deserve a fair opportunity. We don't want to see Kurt Rambis stories that he went into the locker room and told him to start the set player or whatever. No. So in that sense, I do agree with you. My boy Aaron, yes, sir. Lionel Hollins. Yes, thank you, man. Why do I forget this man's name? I have no clue. That's pretty sad. But my brain operates like that. Sometimes when I meet people and I see them after I see them like after the third time, I will register their name. But before that, my brain just tells me it's not important. And I know so many people in life that, and it's not even that I'm trying to be rude. It's just the way my brain works, man. And I completely blank out when somebody asks me that person's name. So it's unfortunate, man. I don't know why it works like that way. He said, Dan, who would you want to come to the Lakers and play the center position? Got to look at the free agents list again. As free agency approaches, I will drop a video on that. I do like the Mo Bamba kid. I've heard negative stuff about him, that he doesn't have heart, he doesn't have motor, he doesn't have passion. I knew a guy personally who said he played against him in high school. I don't know what to believe. People lie all the time, right? So I went with it. I was like, yeah, oh yeah, cool. But yeah, I've heard negative stuff about him, man. I actually have sources that told me negative stuff about him. And I was like, well, man, I wish him the best, because some people don't have the passion for basketball. Some are just in it for the money, and they're, physically gifted and talented enough to play the game that we all love, right? And so I don't know what to believe on that, but I do know that he has the physical tools that we're looking for. He's 7 feet tall, athletic, can block shots, catch a couple of lobs off of pick and rolls and stuff like that. And he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. So he could definitely fit in here with the Lakers. I wouldn't mind a Mo Bamba. Obviously, you guys know I've loved that one kid from the Knicks. Also 7 feet tall, 23 years of age, very young. I'm not sure if he's restricted or unrestricted, but I would love a player like that, somebody who can do the dirty work down low. Yes, I say yes to a player like that, man. That way Anthony Davis could roam around, come from the weak side, block shots, and really focus on the offensive end. So what do you guys think, though? Is there anybody in mind you guys would like? I would also like Thomas Bryant. I know he's coming off of a major injury, but maybe you can get him at a discounted price. I do believe he's unrestricted. Again, I haven't looked at the free agent list. But Thomas Bryant from the Washington Wizards, I wish we would have never let him go. I used to like him when we had him. I always used to compare him to Clint Capella with a jump shot. So he's tough. He's young. I would definitely like him, man. You said Mark is a good guy, but he can't outlive his alleged homophobic comments in 2014 and double down it based on religious beliefs. Look, the way I see it, man, we live in a world where everybody should just respect everybody's opinions and beliefs. If somebody's religious, just respect that. If somebody is this or that, I respect that. I respect everybody in their own lane, but that should never interfere with your work, because those are two different subjects. You know what I mean? It's not like he was at the games, preaching about homophobic stuff and all this. Like, I don't think he was doing that. So what's between him and his religion? You got to remember, a lot of people are old school. They're old fashioned, and they really go based off of what they believe the Bible says. So can we blame them for that? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, you respect them. Same thing with people that want to live their life however they want to live. That's up to them, man. That's not up to me to judge or say anything. They're not hurting me or doing anything to me. So I respect it from both opinions. And I think that has nothing to do with basketball. So I would love it if they kept it basketball with and gave him a basketball opportunity, right? Mitchell Robinson, thank you. Yes, Mitchell Robinson is that the big man. You guys remember, I've wanted him since draft night. I mean, I think there's a video somewhere on here where I was like really upset we didn't draft him. We passed on him for Mortis Wagner. So, we should have. Mitchell Robinson would have been that dude for us. And ever since then, we've kind of been lacking an interior presence. We haven't had a consistent interior presence here since Andrew Bynum retired, right? Since he got traded away. So, yes, sir. So, we'll see. Appreciate you, Blink Beats. Thank you, brother. He said, Primetime is a banger, a straight banger. He said, I'd like to get Larry Nance back low key. Oh, yeah, Larry Nance. And Larry Nance is somebody who could play some 4 and some 5. He's very skilled. He does the dirty work. Offensively, he doesn't have much other than, dunks and putbacks and stuff like that, but he's a hard worker. And yeah, he can once in a while knock down a 3 or 2. But yeah, of course, I was sad when we traded the kid. I mean, Larry Nance is exactly the type of players like that follow that same line of like Alex Caruso types, guys like that work extremely hard and are talented and just they're great for the locker room. I would love to have him back. That's a great point, bro. Yeah, I still say Wenyen Gabriel needs more minutes. Wenyen Gabriel, I definitely think we should keep him. He has everything we need, right? Size, athleticism, motor, and the ability in the space to knock down shots. Heck yeah. Bring him in. Why not? Bring him back. Didn't Rob Pelinka turn down Mitchell Robinson down? They didn't draft him. Again, they did not draft him. But I would say if he's available, via free agency or the trade market, that's the type of young player you need. Him, Mo Bamba, guys like that. Even Willie Cauley-Stein, I would take a flyer on. I have no idea why he's out of the league, being 7 feet tall, athletic. But it is what it is, man. Look, at the end of the day, Lakers hopefully make the right decisions here. Let's start with the coach. Again, Darvin Ham, number 1 choice. Terry Stotts from this list, number 2 choice. And then Kenny Atkinson, number 3. Imagine they go with Kenny Atkinson. I know some people will be upset. But again, we got to keep an open mind to this whole situation. And if they're doing something, maybe it has a trickle-down effect. Maybe they know certain players want to play for certain coaches, and they're going to try to recruit these players based on coaches. But I still think you should not hire a coach based off of player recruitment. You should hire a coach based off of his potential and what he could do for your franchise for years to come, not just for this year, right? We don't want another Band-Aid coach. We want a long-term coach, very much how we had Phil Jackson hold it down for years, in my opinion. All right, final questions before I get off, guys. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Again, really quick major shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks. Check them out. Perfect opportunity. Luka and the Mavs, I believe, play tonight. So good opportunity to dive right in. And don't forget to use my promo code DTLF for a 100% deposit match guaranteed up to $100. So check them out. Well worth it. It's always fun. For me, it's funner when you have something at stake, right? You're watching the game. Game by itself is already exciting. But then if you got money on the line, it becomes that much more exciting. So definitely check that out. My boy Noel, he said, none of this will matter if we keep Westbrook, Dan. I think it does, Noel. Respectfully, I have to disagree, my brother, because if you get the right coach in here and you have Westbrook, and he can command that locker room, he'll get Westbrook to do whatever he wants. And if he doesn't, well, guess what? He doesn't get playing time. This is why I mean by strong-minded coach. I think Darvin Ham fits the bill. Terry Stotts might fit that bill as well. Not sure about Kenny Atkinson because he seems to be more interested in being players' friends, because they all love them. D'Angelo, Karras, all them players, they love them. So he might be more interested in being their friends, like a player's coach, than somebody who's going to crack down on them. I think the first 2 options would be better fitting that description. And Westbrook has to respect whoever comes in. I'm just excited that we're headed in a new direction. Positivity, guys, none but positive energy for our Lakers. And then we'll go from there. Darvin, though, would be a huge acquisition for us. He might be the best coach available outside of Mark, in my opinion. So that's huge. We already winning the offseason if that happens. But thank you guys so much again for tuning in, man. Very exciting time to be a Laker fan. And not that it's never not exciting, right? There's always drama in La La Land, so it's always exciting. But again, anything hits, anything breaks, you guys know where to find me, guys. So make sure you turn on that post notification bell, like and subscribe, and please go check out my new song, Primetime, man. Shit is hard. It's a banger. So please check that out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a great weekend. Much love, Laker Nation. I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.